I made a lot of really good friends, both in Germany and in Italy. And I went over to both those places to do something new and to see art because I'm an art history major. And I wound up just falling in love with the languages and with the people that I was able to meet through them. It was just so much fun just to see all the little cultural differences and all the different nuances that you can try to say the same thing, but there's different meanings, even in the same words. In the translations, and that was a lot of fun.
If I had a friend going to Spain, one thing I might tell them as far as customs that he should be aware of would be the way people greet each other. Men shake hands with each other, but when a man and a woman meet each other, or two women, I'm sure they probably do this in other countries, like Italy. They give each other 2 kisses on the cheek, kind of like, and it's not really all that shocking, but it's just something different to maybe look out for.
One thing that I kind of did wrong when I was in Thailand that I wish I had paid more attention to before I did it was I wore shorts around town. And when I went with friends to go visit the museums or whatever, when we got back home they said, you really shouldn't wear shorts around town. And I was like, I didn't even think about it. And it's really kind of offending to them. And the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Women in Thailand don't wear shorts. I mean, at least where I was.
If I were to advise a person going to Portugal in the future, I would tell them to be conscious of the culture, accept everything it has, because you are the one who's going to adapt to the culture. It's not the other way around, and people make that mistake often at the beginning, that they arrive and they expect things will revolve around them, and it's not true.
And I'm not used to the waitress coming to the table after you have started eating and ask you, how's it going? Because in my country, or actually in Asian culture, to do that means that you don't have confidence in your cooking, or the chef is not doing a good job, and you begin to wonder, what am I eating here?
One of the things that they said in Portugal was that you couldn't take showers after you eat, or you'll die for like 3 hours afterwards. And they told us that in orientation. I was like, yeah, whatever. And I got to my family, and we just eaten dinner, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go take a shower. And they just about passed out on the floor. Because they were just so overwhelmed that I actually had thought about taking a shower after I ate, and they thought I was surely going to die.
If I was saying that I couldn't get to sleep, my host mom would say, oh, you should drink some hot water. You should drink some hot water. It gets you warm. It'll make you warm the whole night. I was like, well, I don't know. I was thinking the covers would do just fine, but if you drink cold water, no, you shouldn't drink cold water before you go to bed. You'll be cold. You'll be cold the whole night.
And I lived in a little bit of a suburb outside of town, and I'd be in the grocery store, and people would sort of, there's a foreign girl right there. She's getting some tomatoes. And they're just staring at me. And after a while, I was like, okay, I'm buying tomatoes again. And then I'm going to go home. You don't have to follow me. But until I got in with my roommates and got to meet some people through them, it was really challenging. Maybe if it'd been a setting where I was with all Italians all the time during school, it might have been a little bit easier.
I think culture shock is kind of the fun part of it, because you end up doing stupid stuff and everybody ends up laughing at you, but you end up learning a lot more because you learn from experience.